Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. May the peace and blessings of God be upon you all. My name is Usman Ahmed, and I will be your host today. As is the tradition in Islam, we start all our programs with the recitation of Holy Quran, which was revealed to our Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace and blessings of Allah. I request Abdul Bari to please come and recite a portion of the Holy Quran. It will be recited in Arabic, and then its translation in English will be presented.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of God be upon you all. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين لله شهداء بالقسط ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. وعد الله الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم مغفرة وأجر عظيم. I shall now present the English translation of the verses just recited. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the rejected, in the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. O ye who believe, be steadfast in the cause of Allah, bearing witness in equity, and let not a people's enmity incite you to act otherwise than with justice. Be always just, that is near to righteousness, and fear Allah. Surely Allah is aware of what you do. Allah has promised those who believe and do good deeds that they shall have forgiveness and a great reward.
Thank you very much, Abdul Bari. I would first like to welcome each and every one of you to this program called Religious Founders Day. It is truly an honor to host all of you at the Baitul Afiyat Mosque. I would like to give you a very brief introduction to our community. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community are Muslims who believe in the Messiah, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian, and promote love for all, hatred for none. Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad founded the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in 1889 as a revival movement within Islam. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community emphasizes the true teachings of Islam, which are of peace, love, justice, and sanctity of life. Today, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is the world's largest Islamic community under one divinely appointed leader, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, may Allah be his helper. The objective of today's event is to gather learned representatives from the world's leading religions to discover actual religious teachings. Each representative will present to the audience the beauties of their religion's founder from the source. The agenda for today is as follows. Each speaker will first speak for 15 minutes on the founder of their faith. After that, we will have a short Q&A session. All guests will be provided with some cards and pens if you have any questions during the presentations. And we have a volunteer here who can give you the cards. You just raise your hand and he will come to you and give you the card and the pen. After that, after the Q&A, we will close the program with a short silent prayer. After that, all the guests are invited to our library for refreshments. Also, you will have the opportunity to view the presentation tables set up by each of the different faith groups. The first speaker for tonight is Mr. Ketan Purohit. Mr. Ketan Purohit was born in a middle-class Hindu family in India. He graduated in engineering from Mumbai. He is working as an IT consultant in Canada for over 20 years. He has lived and worked in many parts of the world, for example, Middle East, USA, Mexico, and Canada. This gave him an opportunity to understand various cultures and learning about various religions. He is providing services to many social and religious organizations in Toronto and in India, focusing on the youth section of the society. Mr. Ketan considers himself as an avid student of Srimad Bhagavad Gita for over 3 decades. He has a keen interest in applying these universal teachings in today's world with scientific acumen and logical reasoning. I'd like to welcome Mr. Ketan, who will be representing Hinduism.
Welcome everyone. I would like to start with a prayer which we generally do at the starting of every such pious occasions. So I will start with that. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Basically, it means that we are bowing to all the gurus who have taught us of this thing, and we are doing this whole program with them. So I think this one works. Yeah, there's a prayer. So greetings is done. Okay. So the topic here is share the teachings of the founder's faith. And this is a really little challenge because Hinduism is, or Hindu religion is a little different than fitting in this definition. But for the purpose of the program, I will like to use the word and continue to use the word Hindu religion, but we will come across that. So, and founder, there is no founder in Hindu religion. So there are so many people, it's a work together, and that is why there is no single founder or single person who has given that input for this religion, which is not a religion. So let us go quickly on the impression on the Hindu religion. So the general impression is that there are so many gods, and there are multiple books and diverse costumes and presentation styles. Languages are different, food habits. See the variety. You come to India and you see how much variety of food is there. And there are diverse processes for marriages, cremation, festivals, ceremonies. And some people even think that it is a pagan religion, which is basically an old religion, which is supposed to be in the museum and not applicable in today's date. So there are many things like that impression, and we would like to see in next 13 minutes, which is really challenging for a 10,000 plus year old thinking to be put into 13 minutes. I'll give my best to it. So what is a religion? So as we can see over here in the display, there are so many gods, and people have got different ways of putting this on the forehead, the symbols, the signals. There are gods and goddesses. So let us see what it is. So to understand something, we have to see what is there and what is not there. So let us go by what is there and what is not there. So in a simple definition of a religion, what it is. A religion means it's a specific belief which is given by the prophets, the messiahs, the religious leaders, and their teachings, their messages, their books, their guidelines, and that is point of faith. That is what a religion is. The religion specifies the ways of life and ways of worship. So a specific way of worship, like there are holy places, there are rituals, symbols, prayers, languages, different things are there. And there are different procedures of sacraments and all that. That is specific to a religion. And religion is also a way of life, like the attire, like I have put now today, which is given to my wife. Actually, I didn't want to put that, but anyway. So it is a specific, the kind of, as we can see over here, different ways of dressing up. And from the dressing up, you can see this is a religion, right? So that is what it is. So, and same thing you can see in the Hindus also. But there is a basic thing in religion, which is called as a believers and non-believers. So what happens when somebody or some person is a religion person? That means there are believers and there are people outside that belief. So there are believers and non-believers. This is the first definition in a religion. The second definition in religion is a believer is a pious, a God's person, is going to go to heaven, and he is a best person. Whereas the other person who is not follower of the religion or not follower of their belief, I will use the word, is an unpious person. He is going to go to heaven. He is going to go to hell because he didn't follow that belief. That is what a religion defines. And that is why there is other and me. This is the exact quality or characteristic of a religion. Whereas, and then there are rules and regulations. Like if you follow a rule, and then there are confessions and, pardoning, and all those things are coming, forgiveness, punishment, rewards, so many things are there. And that is what a religion defines. And then when it is done like that, because the world is a variety, because the world is having so many different diversity, that to put them all under one umbrella is sometimes challenging because of the geographical location, because of the way of life, way of thinking, everything is there. So how to do that? So let me go, that is what a religion is. And unfortunately or fortunately, that is why the Hindu is not a religion. It is called as a Sanatan Dharma. Now, what is the difference between a dharma and a religion? A dharma brings the people together with the freedom of actions. A dharma is where the reverence is for creator and creation, equality in living as well as non-living. And we will come to that, how it happens. Acceptance of diversity and other things, as you can read over there. Continuity of existence is one of the biggest one. Why? Because in religion, to change something is really a challenging thing, and it takes lots of effort. Whereas a continuity, which becomes so flexible, as we will be able to see at the end of the slide, is very easy. And the whole purpose of that is human upliftment. That is what a dharma is. So a justice, humanity, and charity is considered as a basic qualification to be called as a human. In dharma, if you are a compassionate person, if you are a good person, if you are a great person, you are helping other people, that is not enough to become, or that is not enough to be called as a dharmic, means bhakta. It is not enough. So let us go there. So how do you achieve that? It's a very big question. How do you achieve with such a diversity, with such a flexibility? How can we do that? So let us go further. So the first we will go with the word Hindu. Hindu is not a word. In all the holy books all over the world, in the religions, they have got the names or the words of those religions. Like a Holy Bible will have Christ and Christianity. The Holy Quran will have Islam. And I may not have the complete knowledge, but it will have Islam and Muhammad as a name. But if you look at any Hindu religion book, so-called Hindu religion book, there is nowhere there is a word as Hindu. So that means that it is a book for humanity and not the book for specific religion, what we call as. And it is over 10,000 years. And this word Hindu has come from the Persian when the Alexander came to India. to do the invasion, and then he was not able to speak the word Sindhu beyond the river, so he told the word Hindu. So that is the reason. And then there are political history for over 1,000 years, which has got so much of impact because of various invasions and other things, which made it to look like a religion. Because if I am something, I will look at the other thing in the same way. So people, when they came with the religion, they thought that this is a religion because they look different, but it is not a religion. And one more word, we can talk about this 1,000 years, but Arya word is not, it has been so much wrongly used by so many people, including World War II and Hitler and everybody, that the Arya word has been totally misunderstood. But just one sentence on that: Arya is not a race, but a quality. Okay, so let us talk about the founder part. So what has happened that in the founder case, we have got two parts in it. One is the Veda. The Veda is the book, the final book, the first book, which is Apaurushya. There is nobody who can say that I have written this book, because Vedas are not written by anybody. It has been told by the God. And there are 4 Vedas, 108 more than Upanishads and all that. You can read this if you get some time, and I have to really rush through this. So what we are going to do, what it all means is basically imam vivasvate yogam prokta vahanmayam vivasva manve praha manuriksha. Basically the God says that this is ever coming and it is going out and in, because people follow, people don't understand. So I'm telling you again. So basically it is like a river. It is not like a pond or a lake. Let us go further. So what I am going to talk about is from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is one of the best book, and that is what I have been studying for over 30 years now. And why it is so? Because it is a God's word, and it is a complete extraction of all the other books, you can say, and in a very simple way. It is Gita, means it is a song, so you can remember, you can recite it very easily. And that is what, and universally applicable. There is no Hindu word in Gita, so anybody can read, understand, and recite it. So let us go with the Sanatan Dharma, and there are so many teachings, and I would like to talk about only the ones which are the pillars, because I can keep on talking on for so much long time, but it is not possible, and even not possible to even digest it. So let us go one by one, and I will go little slowly on this because I really rushed through the slides for that. So number one is there is a creator of the universe. This is a fundamental rule and belief. There is a creator of the universe. It is not evolved. It is created. And even other religions think about created. Yes, it is there, definitely. Let us go a little further. So it goes to Prakriti, Jivatma, and Paramatma. Basically, it means that there is a material body, which is Prakriti, and then there is a Jivatma, which is an energy inside it, and there is a Paramatma who has made you and who is making you to move around. And these 3 things becomes yourself and the universe. And to see the relations of creation and creator is the basis of believing in a creator. Now, it is not only we are created, but other person is also created with me. This is more important part. And that is why other is not brother, other is not other, but he is my divine brother. Because as the same God has created me, the same God has created the nature, the animals, the stones, everywhere. So seeing the creator in everywhere is the fundamental thing which is derived from creator of the universe. And then I can say that Sarvasa Chaham Radhisannivishtu. There are so many slokas, we'll just go through that. So what it means, what does it derive to? It derives to ekatmata, oneness. The oneness means what? Oneness means whatever I am is exactly with the other thing also. So there is no dvaita, what we call it the dvaita, me and other. See, in the whole world, we are always me and other, and there are other humans, other persons, other animals, other chair, other living and non-living thing. When we go with the oneness, it is a connection through the same energy which has created us. And that is why humans, animals, plants, everybody is same way. And that's the reason why you will see in Hindus, they pray cow, they pray trees, they pray stones. It looks stupid sometimes. Unless we really understand it, what is the meaning behind it? That's very important. And so if it is a oneness, there is no other believer. If there is somebody who is going to follow another way of worship, he is still a creation of God, and that is why he is not other. Just like the definition of religion makes a boundary, The dharma, Sanatan Dharma doesn't make a boundary because it is non-believer, different believer and believer are all alike. So that is called as a oneness. Let us go further. I will not go to this. So then another part which we strongly believe is incarnation of God. That means the God himself takes the birth and comes to the earth. This is very important. Why? Because somebody will say that if God is everywhere, how they can take a birth? And if God is everywhere, then taking a birth is sometimes considered as a part of sin, is a product of sin, and it's a limitation as a human being. How does the God comes? We can talk about it, but this is not a time. But this is a perfect thing. So God himself comes. This is only in Sanatan Dharma. That is why I told there is a dharma and religion is a difference. This is a dharma. And what he said was with Srimad Bhagavad Gita's and all. And then who heard about it, they further went into it and they are called as sants, sages, Rishi, Muni, and all those people which we have seen. They have heard and remember. And this is all in Sanskrit language. So they are called as is it 2 minutes? Okay, I will go quickly. So there is a science of rebirth now. So science of rebirth is the most important part. It is derived from that there is a Jivatma and Prakriti. So what happens in the science of birth? I will go fast. What happens and the idol worship, these three things are important. Science of birth means what? I am responsible for my karma. I am responsible for my deeds. And so it makes a responsible society. That is what is important. Law of karma, there is mercy and there is confession. That is okay. But you are supposed to be responsible. So that makes a responsible society. I cannot run away from my actions. That is what it means by that. So instead of God fearing, it will go into God loving and the law of equality. So, and the justice will happen because everybody has to pay for their actions. I will go a little back quickly on this. There are gods and many gods. So just like a woman is seen as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter-in-law, in the same way we see God in a different way. And that is why the idol worship is there. It's a complete science and psychology, but we can talk about it later if anybody has an action. The biggest part is hell and heaven. There is no hell and heaven. There is absolutely no hell and heaven. Hell and heaven happens, it is over here. If I am upset, if I am angry, that is hell. So there is nothing somewhere up there where the God is there and the judgment is there. There is everything is here. I am responsible for my deeds, and that is what is happening. The other part is the believers and non-believers. There is an acceptance of believers, and there are other thinkers and other school of societies. They are all acceptable in this. And then there are methods like yagna, temples. There are devils and gods, and the definition of that, and the qualities of bhakta. So these are the qualities which are told how a bhakta will be. And this qualities never says how many times you are going for a prayer, how many times you are doing this, you are doing this ritual and all. But these are the qualities you are supposed to achieve by being a follower of this. And the progressive idealism. I will just complete my thing. I will take an extra minute or so. So this is an excellent example I wanted to say about the progressive idealism. See what happens. This is a lady or a Devi which we see during the recent Corona time. This Devi has been made. Somebody pictured it. Okay, it's a goddess. And now this goddess has got all the tools in her hand. Right? So even a religion, nobody is going to oppose. Oh, you blasphemy, you did something wrong with our culture, because even this Devi is good as long as she is covering us from the Corona. We have got a Devi named Shitla Devi. Shitla means basically the smallpox. So it's a goddess of smallpox, something like that. So there is an openness. There is nothing people think wrong, and there is a progressive idealism. That is what basically Sanatan Dharma is and development of. And I will thank Mr. Wajahat, for giving me the opportunity, although 16 minutes, very small for that. So, but I appreciate, and I also appreciate Baitul Afayat Mosque to give this place and arrangement, and Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at for arranging the event on this thing. And I acknowledge that pictures and I have taken from Google and other thing, and I will welcome our next guest. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time on this.
Thank you, Ketan, for that insightful speech. And I learned something new, that Hindu is not a religion, but Sanatan Dharma is the correct way of saying that.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that.